Oh boy. Oh boy. What just happened? What just happened? It sucks that I cannot even be loud right now because I am ready to run through a wall. I want to scream my head off, but I cannot because I'm in a hotel because I was just at the opening night game here in Buffalo where the Rangers win 5-1 over the Buffalo Sabres. And this was not just a win. This was complete and utter domination from start to finish from this team. From start to finish. This is what we saw. Remember last year's home opener, how hyped we were? This was 10 times the play that we got. This is 10 times the play from that home opener, is what I mean. 10 times. Because we saw not just them playing good offensively, not just good on the power play, even strength play. What have we been talking about all offseason? What have we been talking about all this time? Even strength play needs to improve. What did the Rangers do? They got a coach, a competent one that is, and they look at even strength. I'm not going to sit here and say that this team is it's deemed now for a Stanley Cup run after this win. My voice is like dead. I'm sorry if I voice crack a bit, but this is why, though, this one game, could we just, for a second, could we just realize, and could we take a moment to sit back and realize the New York Rangers in one game under Peter Laviolette looked better than they ever did under Gerard Gallant? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? And people were trying to tell me that Gerard Gallant wasn't the issue and that Laviolette was not going to fix things. Time will tell on that second part, but in one game, they look miles better than they ever did under that ass clown, Gerard Gallant. It's just the facts. They started the game off strong. Things got a little shaky at points. This wasn't a full, uh, like dominant effort in terms of them playing like a full 60, but it was very close. It was very close. The only reason that you can't say this was a full 60 is because the Rangers started to get undisciplined in the third period and take some penalties. Outside of that, Buffalo had no chance tonight. Buffalo had no chance tonight. It was cute and all, hearing the fans get all mad while I'm in that arena, booing every time they think a penalty. I got news for you. Even if you got that power play or any of those power plays that you claimed you should have got, Nick fucking Bonino was not letting you score a damn power play goal. He blocked shots all night. All night. And he's a guy that, when I was looking at the analytics, which I'll pull up right now, Nick Bonino was actually low on the charts, which surprised me. I felt Nick Bonino had a very impressive game, at least on the block shot side of things. Maybe it's just 5v5, but granted, that entire fourth line really sucked 5v5, that fourth line. There's really no way around it, but there's no debate that Nick Bonino was looking good blocking shots, and the entire team did. The entire team did. You see Lindgren blocking shots late. You see Miller, Trouba blocking shots. Like, even on that goal that Buffalo scored, Trouba's putting the effort in to block the shot. Buffalo gets a little bit of a weird bounce, and it ends up on their stick. You could argue that Blake Wheeler needs to be ready on the back check. You could argue Braden Schneider needs to be more aware there. Whatever the case may be, that was all they allowed for a goal tonight off of a bounce that went their way. It's not like it's because the Rangers made piss poor mistakes or anything like that. It was strictly because of a bounce. Meanwhile, you get to the Rangers side. uh, where do we start? Where do we start? Because the Rangers were, I mean, you could tell from the moment the puck dropped, the Rangers were scoring the first goal. Is that just me? Is that just me? The second that puck dropped, the Rangers had a jump to their game, and you knew. You just knew. I knew. Most people in that building, I think, knew not only who was winning that game, but who was scoring first. And it was none other than Alexi Lafreniere getting a nice little goal there off a beautiful feed from Artemi Panarin. Filipino would also get an assist. And yeah, like I said on Twitter, Lafreniere, if he's going to play this way consistently, I owe him a big apology because holy crap, did Lafreniere look good tonight. Lafreniere looked so good tonight. And then the Rangers kept their foot on the gas. They get a power play later on. I mean, there was a lot of penalties in this because first, I mean, if you want to go in order here, you had that whole little thing where Kreider ended up taking a boarding penalty. Didn't like Kreider being undisciplined there. You can't take a penalty like that. But the Rangers luck out there because Jordan Greenway ends up getting a cross-checking penalty. I thought for sure they were going to call 2 for boarding with Kreider, 2 for roughing with Kreider, and then 2 for roughing with Greenway. But there was also a cross-check, so the Rangers end up getting a bit of a break there. Zach Benson, though, takes a hooking penalty, and then, yeah. Remember when the Rangers were 1 for 22 on the power play in preseason? How about them potting a Gino on the first power play? Adam Fox rips one. Chris Kreider's there, deflects it. He might low-key score 50 this year again, right? He might just mess around, just casually score 50. But Mika Zibanejad gets the assist as well. That first period, though, let's look at the natural stat trick numbers. At even strength, 64.71%. Or no, that's Fenwick, but Corsi even. I mean, 52-48. Fenwick for percentage, 64.71 to 35.29. That is. And then the Rangers had they had all the chances. They had 3 high danger chances that period. I think more according to some analytics, but again, analytics are still so wonky that not all of them are the same. Because I saw somewhere that was 4-1 in the first period. I think Vince tweeted out that was 4-1, but here on Natural Stat Trick it says it was 4-1. But regardless, the Rangers that first period came out with a jump. I only had like one problem, and I thought that Eric Gustafson looked pretty brutal in that opening period. I thought he was okay going forward, but Eric Gustafson didn't love his game. I didn't love Braden Schneider's game at points. He definitely got better as the game went along, but he was definitely not impressing me at first. But even then, I mean, the fourth line too. The fourth line, that first period, I ended up writing that one down. Can anyone take a guess at what the fourth line's Corsi for was in the first period? Big fat goose egg. That's the concern there. But I mean, the offense looked beautiful. They were getting the beautiful breakout passes. They were suffocating Buffalo in the neutral zone. And then this is my favorite part. The Rangers were so good in the neutral zone that afterwards, Kyle Okposo, in his post game, he goes, "Yeah, well, we usually struggle against the 1-3-1." Oh, our team's going to be saying that a lot if the Rangers could continue to play this way because they were suffocating teams in the neutral zone. They had their sticks in the right position at all times. They were blocking shots, getting in the passing lanes. They were doing every little detail right defensively that we have not seen from this team in how long? In how long? Since what? John Tortorella was behind the bench, maybe? If you want to say that. And even then, they were not producing offense at this rate too, because they were still getting it done offensively. And yeah, Buffalo fans got annoyed by the 1-3-1 too. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Because it's funny because the Rangers have been a team that has been notorious for being bad at beating the trap. Hopefully they picked up on this quickly because, yeah, Uh, you could argue that they could have been a little better in their own end, like in terms of getting the puck out of their own end at times in that first period, but still, I thought that it wasn't anything egregious at all. The shots in the first period were 12-7 favor of the Rangers. We get to the second period. Um, Rangers again. If you thought the first period was good, the Corsi was 60-40 in that second period. Just to give you an idea early on of how that went. And yeah, Jeff Skinner would take an early penalty. Rangers don't end up scoring on the power play, but later on in the period, they would end up scoring as Artemi Panarin, beautiful snipe. But let's not lose sight too of, I think it was Lafreniere there, um, winning a little battle there, winning a little puck battle. Just didn't end up getting it on his stick to get an assist, but you got to give him a bit of credit there because again, he looked good. And then yeah, Panarin snipes one 3-0 game. And then yeah, Buffalo ended up scoring a goal late too. JJ Peterka ended up scoring that goal. Again, that bounce that I was talking about from Power and Yoki Haru. Gustafson then took a penalty later on. I was rolling my eyes because I'm like, are we going to do this? Are we going to do what this team has been notorious for doing over the past few years, where we start games on time, we look good, and then oh boy, we let our opponent back into the game. But nope. The penalty kill, that penalty kill, that penalty kill. But yeah, they ended up killing off that penalty. Thankfully, I was scared Buffalo was going to get momentum a little bit, but once the Rangers got out of that period without allowing another goal, I knew, I knew, no matter what, the Rangers were winning that hockey game. I knew it. I knew it deep down. I knew there was no way Buffalo had a chance tonight. And it was so beautiful to be able to sit in my seat, hearing the fans get all pissed off around me. And I just have a big old smile on my face knowing who's winning this hockey game. And it's my favorite hockey team. And yeah, we get to the third period. The Rangers definitely did make it stressful at times a bit. That is no question. Darlene ended up taking a cross-checking penalty, which, by the way, that I forgot to mention the second period. The Rangers held the Sabres to 5 shots. Would have liked for the Rangers themselves to shoot more. They only had 9 that period, but still, I mean, they didn't really. They were mostly doing the work defensively, but like I was saying, third period comes along. Darlene takes an obvious cross-checking penalty. There was one point I don't remember if it was before or after all the penalties, but Artemi Panarin's just like hiding behind Devin Levi, which cracked me up. I don't know if he was trying to be sneaky. It might have been on that 4-on-4 because yeah, Philip Heel decides to negate the power play by being a football player. I know Josh Allen was in the building, but we don't have to, play like we're trying to sack Josh Allen as he just tackles someone and ends up taking a penalty there. And that's when I got I was starting to get a little worried. And then Trocheck takes another penalty. I'm like, okay, so are we going to just gift them momentum here? But no. Then I see, then I see a team with balls. I see a team blocking shots. I see a team blocking the passing lanes. I see Igor making saves in that net. That's what I see. And I see that this team dominates. And then, yeah, it was in the bag from there. Fans were hitting the exit. It was funny. And I'm hearing one fan as he exits the building go, Jack Hughes owns the Rangers. I'm like, yeah, if your material has to be about another team's success, that sucks for you. That sucks for you. But yeah, Kyle Okposo would take a penalty too. This was after though Truba buried the empty netter, just flicked it into the other end. Kreider and Zibanejad with the assist there. Forgot to mention too that Chris Kreider too. This is how you knew it was over too. Chris Kreider shorthanded goal. Mika Zibanejad beautiful feed. I don't know how I forgot about this. Mika Zibanejad beautiful feed. Chris Kreider taps it in. You knew the game was wraps then. That's when the fans were really hitting the exits when Kreider buried that. And then as it kept going, the more it kept emptying out, the more it's just all Ranger fans, all Ranger chants. It was beautiful. And then, yeah, Trouba buries that empty netter. Okposo takes a penalty. Rangers almost get another goal, but They don't. But yeah, they whoop them. They whoop them. The Rangers in the third period were outdueled actually in terms of Corsi 5v5, 60-40, but I'm not going to take much stock into it because most of that period was played at played shorthanded or on the power play for the Rangers, so I'm not going to take much stock into that. But they allowed 4 high danger chances all game. Buffalo allowed 9. Yeah. Safe to say I'm feeling pretty good. And you know, it's just beautiful. Isn't it beautiful that you can go on Money Puck, right? Look at that deserve to win meter. And the Rangers are all the way on that side or almost. I mean, it was I think like 70 to 30, right? Something like that. I don't know, but regardless, the Rangers dominated. The question's going to be can can they play consistently? We will see. But for tonight, it's worth celebrating because we have not seen them play this type of hockey in what feels like ages. I mean, you look at all the analytics, Panarin at the top, that chart all the way, Fox all the way, Lafreniere all the way. Lafreniere played such a good game. Oh my god, he played like a number 1 overall pick. Could we not forget just Lafreniere doing such little things too, like some little pump fake moves out there. It was beautiful. Chris Kreider all the way, although his offense apparently wasn't that great, but still, I mean, I thought he was fine. Philip Hedl all the way over. Eric Gustafson, he looked better on the chart than I thought, the eye test told, but still, I mean, I'll take it. I'll take it. Zibanejad, beautiful game. Miller, beautiful game. Truba, Lindgren, Coley, Trocheck, Schneider, Kaka. Then you get to the fourth line and Blake Wheeler, who's in there. And yeah, I wasn't necessarily impressed with those guys, but if my complaint is the fourth line and a third line right winger, um, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be complaining. Don't think I'm going to be complaining if that's the biggest issue. So yeah, the Rangers looked really good. They outshot Buffalo in that game, 31-24 as well. Block shots. The Rangers blocked 23 shots, 15 hits, 1 for 4 on the power play. So you could argue the power play needed to be a bit better, but even then, I'm not gonna be too harsh. 5v5, just seeing those numbers, and especially that one line. Let's look at that from natural stat trick. Let's look at the forward lines. That Panarin, Lafreniere, Heat line. My goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Does this need to continue to be a thing for the rest of my lifetime? Potentially, if it continues this way. 77% Corsi. Expected goals for percentage, 91.32. Expected goals for, 0.85. Not bad. Goudreau, Benino, Pitlick is where it got rough. They actually made up some good ground when it comes to their core seed, 43. I mean, they were 0 after the first period, so I'll give them that. Kreider's advantage at Kako. They definitely got worse as the game went along, in terms of them being like in the offensive zone, but like don't get it twisted defensively. They were still looking good. And then Coley, Trocheck, and Wheeler, they were actually very good. That third line's so good. Like that could be a legit good third line. Will Coley did not look out of place one bit. And he was playing physical. How about that too? I didn't even mention that. I didn't get to that. The Rangers getting under Buffalo's skin all night. How about that? You're just seeing them throw bodies, throw hits, and everybody getting all upset in the building and it was just comedy. It was comedy seeing all those fans whine and get upset. And then the Rangers just bullying them and dumbing them on the ice. And then the players took it personally too. They're throwing the body around and they're throwing hits around. Yeah. Well, you mess with the wrong team. You mess with the wrong team. But I cannot believe how good that that game was. I mean, even though Gustafson, I said, played worse than I thought the chart suggested, he still had some like nice defensive plays here and there. Miller though, Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, Keandre Miller was really good tonight. Like underrated game from Keandre Miller because everyone's going to talk about Fox and Lindgren on the back end looking good. Very underrated night in my opinion for Keandre Miller and even Jacob Trouba, who I am notorious for getting on him. He looked good. He looked good. But again, the main key now is going to be putting it together consistently. And that all starts what on Saturday they play Columbus, or is it Sunday, Saturday? On Saturday when they play Columbus, you got to do it again. Got to do it again. But there was so much to like about this game between suffocating them in the neutral zone, between the block shots, the commitment in every single aspect of the game to win. Let's see them do it over again. Let's hope. Let's hope this is the start of new a new type of hockey. But oh, we are Barack. We are Barack, Matt. I'm getting to the chat now a bit. Um, Laugh got the monkey off his back. Yeah, Lafreniere looked so good tonight. Great game. If we could do this on a nightly basis, it doesn't even have to be this close to this, at least close to this on a nightly basis. This team's gonna win a lot more games than lose. It's pretty simple, and this team's gonna be a force. And I'm hoping that there are nights where we look at it and it's just like this, I just want us to get to the stage where this team is so good that we could be like we could brush off losses and we could be like they still played well. They just got unfortunate and got unlucky that game. Hoping that it could be that, not where every time they lose, they get spanked. They get their ass handed to them. That's what I'm begging for. That's what I'm begging for here. Because listen, at the end of the day, it's going to happen. The Rangers are going to get dominated in games over the course of 82 games. It's just the nature of the beast there. But at the same time, if they could just limit it, that's all I'm asking for. And face off percentage. Oh my God, 36.7 for Buffalo to 63.3 for the Rangers. The Rangers winning face-offs. Oh my God. This is all enough to make a grown man cry. These stats, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Where the Gallant Glazers did this team look like uncoachable divas to you? Yeah, seriously. Yeah. Love to know where those guys are at. Or Gallant himself. I wonder if he was watching this game tonight because you know, he made it seem like this team was uncoachable too when he was out the door. So looked like a completely looked like a totally complete team tonight. Yeah, they played as a unit. That was a complete game, all 60 minutes. Agree. The only time you could argue it wasn't like in the Rangers' favor is when they were taking those penalties, and even then, shorthanded goal. They looked like an actual team playing a system. You're damn right. You're damn right. Oh, how refreshing is this that we get to talk about this? How refreshing is this? I wish I could scream right now. I wish I could lose my mind right now. But I'm telling you, this is what we're gonna get. I mean, I'll be back home for the next game and I'll be able to scream my head off. But it's so hard right now not to. I'm fired up. I'm fired up. We always looked at this team and said they have the players to be a top 5v5 team. The only thing they're missing the coach and the system. Look what happened tonight. Bingo. Bingo. Matt, you and I are always on the same page, and you couldn't be any more accurate with your statement there. Yeah. Complete 60, complete 60. Yeah. Yeah. I'm staying cautious with the optimism here. Also true because like you said, did dominate opening night last year as well. The only thing that I will say is this team still looks so different from that opening night last year, where that's where I'm a little more on the optimistic side than cautiously optimistic. But I I'm gonna be still slightly cautiously optimistic because I need to see it consistently because what does it matter if they can't do this consistently? Then this game is a nothing burger. Outside of the fact that we'll look at it and be like, they could play that way they could play that way, just they gotta play consistently. PK looked great. We needed an early season shorthanded goal. Yeah, the PK looked great. We just looked like the better team. I don't think we ever looked like the better team the past 10 years. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, freak. That's what I'm saying. Could cry. I could cry. Team feels new. Maybe they'll be better now with Kane in November with a new coach and system. That'd be beautiful. That's music to my ears, Nick. The one thing we worried about coming into the game was how would we play against the speed of the Sabres tonight. We neutralized their speed with our play in the neutral zone. Yep. And hmm, what team what team plays that type of way where, you know, their speed really kills and they need to be slowed down the neutral zone? What team plays that way? The New Jersey Devils. The Devils are obviously a far better team than the Sabres, but this could go a long way. Was there ever a bigger statement win in a new coach's first game? No. Nope. Not that I could think of, Steven. You're the guy here for that answer. Kid line each 50 plus points, maybe. We will be there. I like the 1-3-1 in the neutral zone. Oh, it was beautiful. It's beautiful because you know what else is beautiful about it? It's gonna piss everyone off. It's gonna piss everyone off. Yeah, Buffalo had no answer for that 1-3-1. They had no answer. Really liked our defensive game tonight, including us blocking shots and our stick positioning as well. We were tipping and breaking up passes consistently. It's the little things that make you good. Yes. Yes, it is, Matt. Yes, it is. It's the little things that they just have not done over the past few years. Something went down in these practices over the past week that they did not play games. Saw Buffalo fans getting annoyed by that. Oh yeah, they were mad all night. One fan got mad at me because I was standing during warm-ups. I'm like, "You got a problem if you're mad at me for standing during warm-ups. It's gonna be a long night for you. Because if you're mad at me standing during warm-ups, what are you gonna do when my team scores a goal and I'm standing up? Like, come on." Big challenge for this team comes uh, when opponents have enough footage to go over in their video sessions to prepare for the Rangers. Yeah, 100%. That's the other thing too. Like, as happy as we are, teams are going to get footage, and that's going to help them a bit. But let's hope that Laviolette will have answers to that. So they're going to need to. Trocheck looked like Carolina Trocheck tonight. It's funny how even uh, players look even better when they are in a proper system. Yeah, that's the Vinny Trocheck we thought we were getting when pencil went to paper there on that contract, or pen to paper, not pencil, pen to paper went to that contract. That's the Trocheck we wanted. This was always a team with good players, but they played opportunistic hockey. Now those good players have a system and they create sustainable offense plays that you can recreate. That's the key here. Exactly. Because remember how hyped you were about the shift. I saw the shift like 50 times over tonight. The forecheck looked so annoying tonight. I loved it. Oh yeah, it did. Yeah, the team's passing too is great. Lafayette Panarin line will be dangerous. Hope so consistently. Kreider starting the season strong. Laffy great first game. Spanish and bread in playoff form. Well, playoff form. Usually they don't show up in the playoffs, but if they could, and this is their playoff form, this team could make some serious freaking noise. Literally the same thing happened to me. Sabre fans in my section yelling, "Let's go Devils" as they were leaving. Cowards. Cowards. I even heard one fan trying to start the Igor taunts, and it's like, check the scoreboard, number one. Number two, Don't poke at the bear. Don't poke at the bear. Yep. Logan, that's the key. They got to play like this consistently. Coley looked great. Yep. I really liked how active our defensemen were as well, constantly stepping up and tipping pucks and keeping the play alive in the offensive zone. Yeah, that was another thing that I noticed. Like you just saw guys jumping up in the rush, like Fox especially. He was not afraid to jump up. Yeah, I feel like in the preseason they weren't really playing a specific system because we saw a lot of like the gallant things. Like we saw them lining up in a 1-2-2 in the neutral zone at times, and it wasn't this 1-3-1. So maybe they waited. No, the D pairings were mixed up. And if you're trying to ask if Laugh still sucks, I mean, if that's what your question is, Frank, first of all, I never said that he sucks. I said that I'm concerned about him. Um, and that he hasn't performed enough to a number one pick status. Said he was an NHL caliber player, just didn't say he was a number one pick status. But if he plays like he did tonight on a consistent basis, then that's the number one overall pick. I agree, Matt. I we need this consistently. Like this is because this is something I could watch every single night. Sit down on my couch at 7 o'clock, put my feet up. Every time they play a garbage team, I know they're winning that game. They're sealing the deal. They are kicking some ass tonight. That's what I want. Yep, Trocheck, great third line center. The Igor Taunts, yeah, they were idiots. I was looking for the system. I found it about 30 seconds into the game. They were smothering the Sabres in the neutral zone. So obvious. Yep. Get used to it. Get used to it. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. What's beautiful though is sleep, which is what I'm gonna attempt to do. Um, I'm sorry for starting late. I ended up watching the end of that baseball game because I was interested in the way that went. Was at the game, so I got back late, and then yeah, um, traveling back tomorrow. So I got to get to bed for sure. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. 40 viewers right now. Please, 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 everyone, leave a like before we wrap up the stream here. I would appreciate that a ton, but you guys are the greatest. We'll talk more tomorrow. Look out for the Ice Cold Takes podcast. I should be on there with Nick and Joey as per usual. But yeah, this is this was fun. This was fun. And let's hope that this is what we get consistently. But yeah, leave a like, subscribe. Let's fucking go, Rangers. I'll see you guys in the next one.